Hi, Bianca, and welcome everyone. Happy New Year. We haven't had a chance um, to meet up earlier, so it's the 10th of January when we're recording this, but we can't not record our little holistic forecast for you guys. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm liking the year so far. Let's see. Maybe it's very early to make you know, a strong statement about the entirety of 2024. It's definitely going to be interesting. And I'll just say really quickly, like if you want to go deeper and if you already want to know a little bit more about what the whole year is going to be like, you can listen to episode 17 of my podcast, Life Forces Podcast. I do an overview of 2024 and then the specifics of the first quarter of the year as well. But we're going to just be talking about January today.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just going to be talking about January, but yeah, don't miss the chance of um, getting a little bit more of like an introduction to the year. And also, you've got an amazing offer running for a calendar a digital calendar that you can download to receive all sorts of astrological news throughout the year directly on your agenda. So I don't know if you want to say something more about
Yeah,
it.
just really quickly. Yeah, I made a 2024 digital astrology calendar. It links right up to your Google Calendar or iCal, so you can have it on your computer, on your phone, whatever. So it has basically like all these days I discuss and more with little like tidbits of information that are really easy to understand, journal prompts, reflection questions, and also for everyone that subscribes to the calendar, you'll be getting special offers and discounts that the rest of my community won't be getting. So that's like another incentive
Perk.
as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I actually have it and I already received one of your first offers. So I was
Yeah.
very excited about that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into January and
Yeah.
the general energy it's bringing forth.
Yeah. The general energy. So we're in Capricorn season, which began on the winter equinox, December 20th, I think it was 20th, 21st last year. So we're still in Capricorn season. So this is cardinal energy. This is earth energy. Cardinal is very much about initiating things, starting things. And earth energy is very grounded and often more associated with the material world. So, like making things happen in the material world, concrete things, health, your body, money, all that good stuff. So, and also Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, which can be quite a melancholy and cold and sometimes depressive kind of energy, but Saturn is really here to help us persist through things and overcome obstacles. So it's a great time for that because I know a lot of us, the beginning of the year, we like the fresh start, but then maybe at the same time, it's like, I'm like, I feel like I'm hungover from the holidays or whatever, things like that. But it's just a reminder to push through, like not burn yourself out, but just like push through the resistance a little bit and just keep going. Like that's what Saturn would love for all of us. I'll just recap a couple of things that have already happened just for some context. So we had Mercury Retrograde, which ended on the 2nd of January. So Mercury stationed direct in Sagittarius on the 2nd. And if you still feel like communication and things have been a bit off for you, it could be because Mercury's still in its shadow period, which ends on the 20th. So, still be mindful for the next week or so, like things could still be a little bit wonky. And then on the 4th, Mars moved into Capricorn, so more Capricorn energy. So in terms of actions, it's time to be really grounded, disciplined, think of things more long term, not just like instant gratification, what I'm doing today and tomorrow. Like, what am I building this year? That's a huge theme. And we also have the new moon in Capricorn tomorrow, January 11th. So new moons are a great time to set intentions, to start something new, particularly associated with the energy that the new moon is in. So the sign that the new moon is in, Capricorn, long-term goals, discipline, your career, building a legacy. Tomorrow's a really great time to set intentions related to those things. And I really like the way Saturn is positioned with both Mars and Jupiter. Like there's really nice energies there for like taking action in a very grounded way that will, have solid results if you're focused. And same as, your visioning, right? Which has a lot to do with what Jupiter is about, like visioning, expansion, beliefs. So nice alignment there tomorrow for the new moon in Capricorn.
Sounds like auspicious one to do some groundwork for the rest of the year as well.
Definitely. It's like if you haven't really set any intentions for the year yet, or if you're like, oh, I should have done this, whatever journal exercise for 2024, tomorrow is a great day for it. And then continuing into the weekend, Mercury moves into Capricorn on the 14th. So the way our minds are processing information, communication, messages, all that is, again, this very grounded, disciplined Capricorn energy. So it's a great time to, again, plan long-term, think ahead, and also have a lot of like mental discipline in what you're doing as well.
I love that. And I've always stated that we're not big fans of being extremely strict on setting intentions and goals and making big plans at the beginning of the year, because it's just the beginning of another cycle. But you actually have an opportunity to set intentions and goals each month with the lunar cycles.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up if you haven't made any great plans for this year, because you have a daily, weekly, monthly opportunity of doing so. And the full moons are always a good time around which we might be more inspired or connected with what we want and what we want to release. And so don't be too hard on yourself if you haven't done so yet. You still have plenty of opportunities all throughout the year to do so.
Yeah, and you can even get deeper with it, because based on where each new moon, for example, is happening in your own individual chart, it might be a good time to manifest something like even more specific. So I'll just talk really quickly about like the limited time offer I have now, which is basically an opportunity to kind of plan your year astrologically with my support. So we either do just like a 1 hour one-off session, or there's a more involved package where we do a 1 hour session and I give you even more personalized tips, and we do quarterly check-ins. Because, for example, for me, my Capricorn season is about like groups and community and humanity and stuff like that. So yes, it's about all the Capricorn things about like career and legacy, but for me, it's also about being involved in a community, which is something that I'm going to do because I'm part of this like group program thing. Anyway, I digress. But if anyone is interested in that, I'm only offering it until like the end of February, basically. So yeah, you can just DM me or go to lifeforcesinc.com to learn more. Okay. Yeah. So exactly. That's new moon in Capricorn and Mercury in Capricorn, which brings us to the middle of the month, essentially.
Which is coming up.
Soon enough already, which is very crazy. So on the 19th, we have Venus in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces. So this is a really good day for like creative things, expanding your horizons, daydreaming, all that good stuff. Could cause some misunderstandings in your relationship, so something to be mindful of. And then the next day on the 20th, Aquarius season begins. So it's fixed energy, it's air energy, it's about making connections, being a part of community, reconnecting to people, having a higher vision for humanity, all that amazing stuff. And yeah, so that'll be a month, as all astrological seasons are. And then the next day we have Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is quite a big deal because Pluto is a very slow moving planet that stays in a sign for like 20 years essentially. So
Wow.
Pluto is going to be in Aquarius till about 2043. It'll dip back into Capricorn for a hot minute, but we're going to see a lot of transformations on the collective when it comes to our relationship with technology. Like things are really going to amp up in a big way. And Pluto spent a little bit of time in Aquarius last year, and I believe that correlated a lot with AI really becoming a thing and ChatGPT and all of that. So let's see how that all goes down. You can, of course, think of it as being really dystopic, but I'm hopeful that we're going to have a lot of nice utopian things that happen, maybe better ways of working together, whether that's with technology or not. So let's see how that unfolds.
So excited to see what that brings. I love technology. I know you're too a little geek. And I'm just hoping that we can use technology in a way that can, that can help us grow. And I mean, we set up a whole app for you guys to access quality content, and we hope it'll be evolving throughout the year. So with this auspicious astrology, maybe some changes will happen. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure. And, it is a really like long-term transit. So in terms of the changes we'll see on a collective level, it might not be even in this year, but like certainly a couple decades from now, we'll be like, oh yeah, a lot of stuff has changed. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but this is the same position that Pluto was in when we had like the Industrial Revolution, and also when we had the French Revolution, stuff happening in the United States and all of that. So I think it's going to also be a very interesting time politically. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. So we'll see how it happens.
Let's see. Yeah. Exciting times.
Yeah. So for the last couple things of the month, Venus moves into Capricorn. So Venus is our relationship planet, also about beauty and art and aesthetics. So Venus moves into Capricorn. This is a really great time to think about things like commitment and boundaries, because Saturn, which rules Capricorn, is really about those themes. So think of that in terms of your relationships. Who are you committed to? Who are you maybe not so committed to? Are there any relationships in your life where you need to change the boundaries or like the terms of things a little bit, like something to really think of? And again, it's really like grounded energy. So thinking about how we practically show up for other people, right? Like, do we follow through with what we say we're going to do, or is it just talk, like things like that, something to contemplate. And then on the 25th, we have the full moon in Leo. So the first full moon of the year. This is a really great time to, because we're in Aquarius season, which is so much about the collective and humanity and groups of people and mixing around, it's a really great time to celebrate your own individuality, your own creativity, your own boldness, what comes from your heart, because Leo is associated with the heart chakra. So a good moment to like pause and celebrate yourself in whatever way you'd like. And then on the 27th, Uranus stations direct in Taurus. So Uranus has been retrograde for about 5 months, which it does every year. No need to panic or anything. So with Uranus retrograde, anytime we have like a retrograde, things can be a bit more like introspective, or things, the planet kind of behaves in a less predictable way. So I think with Uranus direct, it might be that we might see sudden changes happening. And it might be that we also feel like there's something pushing us forward as it happens. So might not be right on the 27th, but kind of shortly after. And what's really interesting about this is as of the 27th with Uranus direct, for a couple months, everything is going to be direct. All planets are going to be direct. So the first few months of the year, even 4, let's say, are a really good time to just like, let's go, let's do the things. You know, it's not really as much introspective thinking about it energy. It's more like, okay, let's try the things, you know, even if we don't have the perfect plan or the perfect whatever, there's great energy to just move forward.
Jump into action.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no more introspection. We've had enough of that last year. It's time to go, go, go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I've got for this month. Just keeping it simple. Yeah.
If you were to give us 3 words about 2024, what would they be?
Okay. The first one is more of a phrase, but it would be information overload, which is going to probably happen with Jupiter and Gemini happening later this year. I believe it moves in May. That's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that eventually, and I also talk about it in my podcast, episode 17. What else? Okay, so we have information overload. We have how would I describe it? I don't know if like leap of faith is the right phrase, but with this Jupiter Uranus conjunction we're going to have in April, there's just like an opportunity, like lucky opportunities can just like happen very quickly around that time, which will be super, super interesting. And then what else? And then I think also individuality is going to be a big theme and really important because we have the North Node in Aries, we have the eclipses happening in Aries and Libra. So it's a time where a lot of us, if we're not already being ourselves and owning who we are and what we want, we might be like forced into that a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, information overload, leap of faith, and leap of faith or breakthrough, whatever you want to call it, and then individuality. That's how I would summarize it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this year, and I can already feel the energy shifting in some way. If we had to compare to the end of last year, which was just pretty intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited. So thankful for you and for giving us all these insights every month since almost 4 years, 3 years?
3 years, because I think I started 2021, right? Wild, right?
And wild. And let's hope to be able to create more workshops and things with you that will complement your offers here at Aura. And I can't wait for, you know, whatever this year brings. I have a dog in the background who is
That's
making
okay.
weird noises.
We love the dog noises.
And yeah, see you all for next month's holistic forecast. Thank you, Bianca, for today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Flavia. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.